guys, it's Kelly. I'm back with another layout. This is for SpiegelMom Scraps, and I just showed you my white cardstock. I had machine stitched kind of messily in gold thread in circles, and I probably did it about 10 times, just enough to make the circle a little wide and so that you could really have that impact of the gold thread. I also chose this because the title is going to be dealing with my son's journey. It's his senior year of high school, and there's, so many things that go on, and there was a little stink bug that just crawled across my desk. I don't know what it is about this time of year and those miserable stink bugs, but yeah, so just got rid of him, and I think he makes another appearance too. I couldn't smush him because I was afraid he'd stink if I smushed him. Anyway, so I took this, a few of my papers from a 6x6 pad. Offhand, I can't remember which this is. I think this was a Maggie Holmes collection, and I pulled out a few that matched the colors in the sequin pack. The sequins that I'm going to be using on this layout are called Sugar Maple, and it's just a gorgeous fall collection with some soft yellows, tans, darker oranges, a few browns, and then some leaves that are sequin shaped. So sequins that are leaf shaped. It's Monday and my brain is just done with it being Monday. I was in a wedding all weekend, so that took up Friday, Saturday, and part of yesterday, and I'm fried. I'm toast, and I work today, so I just needed to get this voiceover done. So hang in there with me and I will get through it. So this piece of paper that I am fussy cutting is from One Canoe 2, and I love these wood slices. I think they are gorgeous, and several people before me have fussy cut these wood slices. I have yet to do so, and I just thought that this layout would be a great one. I'm going to house a cluster to the left of my son's photo, and that's just going to help to ground that cluster. So at this point, what I'm trying to do is figure out the colors that I want to put behind the photo, and I thought that I might pull in this beautiful brick red. It is so pretty, and there's another One Canoe 2, where's that, Creekside? Oh my goodness. It's the plaid paper that you will see in just a minute. It's gorgeous. It has some reds and browns, and I thought that it would be great to incorporate a little bit more of that red, but I felt like that it was a little too dark. Here's the plaid paper that I love and that I wanted to include, and I didn't want to cut into it with just a photo mat, but I decided that I was just going to do it. I want to make another layout where I leave a big chunk of this plaid. I just think it is gorgeous. I love plaids, polka dots, and florals, obviously, but this one with the fall colors, I just think is so striking, and I definitely need to do something else with that paper. So I am going to cut a thin mat around the photo, and I'm so happy with the way that looks. I feel like it brings in some of those warm fall colors and brings just that red being brought in, I just think is gorgeous. So I am pulling out this chipboard leaf, but it's not going to make it on the page. Instead, I'm going to incorporate some sequins. I just knew that it matched the die cut that I wanted to use, so I thought that I would just see, kind of just get an idea of what I wanted to use to embellish. So all along, my thought was to take some of these different sequins and put them around the circle in a random pattern. I'm just going to put several of them down and make sure that the colors are represented, pretty equally around the circle, just to give it a nice balance. And I'm doing this before I'm doing any more embellishments because I really wanted to use several of the sequins, and I feel like if I'm doing my embellishments before I'm doing my sequins, sometimes it means that I use less sequins. And these are so pretty, and I really wanted to challenge myself to see what I could get on this page. The other reason I am choosing this photo, well, there's two other reasons. First, I've had a request for more masculine layouts, and another person has said that they have a hard time using sequins and using sequins with boy pages. So I wanted to show that it can be done, and there's ways to do it without it being girly or, feminine. And, I'm hoping that for those people that, are facing these problems, that you will get a little bit of inspiration from this. So when I put those leaf sequins to the right hand side and then the one up top, I really felt like that they added so much to the circle that I did not want to add anything else in that little area. And I did cut out quite a bit of my adhering the sequins down just because it is quite a few. I used my Ranger Multi-Matte Medium to glue the smaller sequins, and then I just used the Zots, like glue dots, for the larger leaves, and they worked great. So I knew that I wanted the title to be something about my journey or the journey of a senior year. I couldn't quite figure out exactly what I wanted to call it, and I decided I would move the sequins up just a hair and call it The Journey. And I'm going to incorporate some journaling on the page. Actually, it will be hidden, and it's just going to be talking about, some of the things that I'm seeing as a mom that, Patrick is going through right now. And, it's what happens if I don't get into the school I want, where do I go from there? How many schools can I apply to, because it costs money to apply to all these schools. And, me trying to tell him that he needs to make sure that he has a couple of his dream schools that he wants to go to and a couple of safe schools. And he just now has mentioned that he might audition for the Marine Corps band. He plays trombone and talked to a recruiter, and he definitely is gifted with trombone. So it's not that, this would be, kind of weird for him to do this, but he was thinking that if he were to get accepted into the band, then, when he's out in 4 years, that college would be paid for. And, because he's finally realizing that, his two dream schools are out of state, and they're out of state public schools. And I told him, I'm like, you're an average kid. Cannot guarantee that you will get a bunch of money in scholarships, and we can't afford out-of-state tuition, especially when we have Emily, who's 2 years behind him. So it's going to be talking a little bit about this and how he is going through it. So I'm sorry I, had a little tangent, but I think you could pretty much follow everything that I was doing on the page. I gutted that background paper because I'm definitely going to save it. I am using a little bit of shimmers. This is Glorious Day, and it is a Vibes, and it's gorgeous. And I just sprinkled some around the circle, and I put some on the leaf and that wood die cut because I wanted to be able to see the pretty, it's kind of a goldish yellow. It's gorgeous. It's a different gold than the Heidi Swapp Color Shine. So if you ask me if you need both, the answer is always yes. Gold and more gold is always good, but they're different shades. So this definitely, the Glorious Days worked beautifully with the leaf sequins. And I also I had a glassine bag that already had a tag in it that I didn't use from a different project. So I went ahead and I adhered that to the back of the photo, and I'm going to put my journaling onto the tag. Now, I have not done my journaling yet because I needed to be in the right frame of mind to do so, and I know what I wanted to say, and it will probably end up being typed just because my writing is a little bit bigger, and, typing it onto the tag will allow me to make sure that I can get, everything that I want to say on it. And I also did not want the journaling to be read just by anyone. Not that it's going to say anything that is inappropriate or, that other people can't read, but it would be something that you really have to know is there and you really seek to read it. Because I feel like if you're making that kind of effort, then, you do want to read it. So I pulled out this flare. It is a camera and it says document, and it is from a flare for buttons. And I thought, even though there's no other dark, well, there's a dark frame behind the photo, but even though there aren't really a lot of dark elements on the page, I felt like it went well, and it just, brought a different aspect to the page. So off camera, I decide to do a couple of things, and I'm sorry about that. It was one of those things that I came back a few hours later. It was at night, right before I went to bed, and I took some gold thread and I just put a little nest of the gold thread underneath the flare badge and over top of the leaf. I felt like, again, gold is beautiful on this page, and I wanted a different texture, and that thread just really adds just a sweet little something to that cluster. So I'm using these tiny Tim Holtz word stickers, and all of them are going to be talking about the journey. The one that I just cut says, "No journey is too great if you find what you seek." The one to the left of the title says, "There is nothing like a dream to create the future." And then I find one more that says, be fearless. And I put that in that top right-hand corner as well. I chose those because I felt like they truly went with what I was going to be talking about in the journaling and about, his senior year. So that's it for me today. I do have several close-ups at the end where you can see the beautiful detail that is in with the sequins and the gold thread and the stitching. And I just want to thank you so much for joining me. And again, thank Jody at SpiegelMom Scraps for having me as her guest designer for the month of October. If you haven't checked them out, be sure and do so. She's got some beautiful sequins in the shop. So again, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you soon. I hope you guys have a great week. Take care. Bye.